All right, all right. Hello, traders. Well, trader, Stephen D, it's just you and me right now. Where is everybody? Where is everybody? I'm going to go. I realized I forgot to send my alert reminder. I'm going to do that real fast. Bear with me. Maybe we could chat live. Yeah, maybe so. Maybe so. Well, we're going to give it a few minutes. I just posted the reminder. Let's see if anyone pops in. Let's see who we can get to join us. Yeah, yeah. Nobody wanted to take that AMAT trade, and it got the good pop from Intel earnings. It's working great. Steven, did you have any problems getting in today? We are in the Friday meeting, right? We didn't happen to both join the wrong meeting together. That'd be a first. I'm gonna go check and make sure the link is the right link. We got Vladimir here. Um, he might he must have did you see the announcement, Vladimir? I told Steven maybe I'll get a couple extra when I send that out. Well, there's just the three of us. Let's just get cracking, I guess. No need to wait much longer. Oh, you didn't check? All right. Well, let's get cracking here. Officially, good afternoon. Happy Friday. Welcome out to the weekly market wrap. I am Scott. I'll be your host. As always, remember that this is for education illustrative purposes, nothing intended as a recommendation to buy or sell. Um, we're not brokers or advisors. We don't give personalized investment advice. Decisions made always should be done so at your own risk, yada, yada, yada. Let's review the market. What does it mean to us? We're going to take a little sneak peek, into our market posture numbers. Are we going to make volume? Ooh, good question. Good question. Mindset for trades. I'm carrying mine. AMAT looks fine. VOD's holding up. Those are a couple of them. We'll see from there. We are finishing up section 4 of the trading plan. Yeah, there's AMAT doing its thing, doing what it's trying to do here. See if it can continue on this path. Another one for us is VOD. VOD took a little bit of a pause, so maybe there. I'm gonna be open to that. Hello, Kyle. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome. Glad to have you. It's the funny thing. Fridays. I always laugh because I'm like, this is one of my favorites. Wrapping up the week together. We get to just sort of like talk about trades that we're in. What are we gonna do with them? How are we feeling? But it's one of the least attended. I'm not sure the I'm not sure the logic. Everyone's just checking out for the weekend, apparently. But those of you who are here, of course, I salute you and your dedication. Let's go talk about the market itself. Here's the SPY. We're getting a good turn. If you're a flag or a continuation pattern trader, flag, pennant, etc., you will look at this and be like, I kind of like this. I could look at it this way. You can see I'm getting a turn and I'm getting a break above the pattern. What am I not getting? Well, according to Stephen D, the big thing we need to be thinking about is here. And I'm going to say no. No, we're not going to make volume. We're not going to get close. It's quite low. Average is 67. We're at 29. So we're literally sitting not even at 50% volume right now. We've got 48 minutes left. 5.5 hours and change down, 48 to left. It's quite an anomaly, Stephen. I agree. It's quite an anomaly. And what's interesting, Kyle says after a 13% run, it's hard to have volume. We didn't even have volume we got volume for literally 3 of those 13%. Right? Like we got down here, we opened and ran. That was it. That part right there had some volume associated with it, and everything since. And it is literally just about like the first 3%. We had a little pop that just sort of kicked it off, and then it was gone. And for the next 10% here, nothing. Honestly, and I'm literally just waxing philosophically here, but my thought is a significant lack of opposition. And I don't know where that's coming from. I mean, I feel like there's still we all have escalation concerns. I think we all have like, oh, what if this thing doesn't resolve? What if it? Then I guess we'll see it start to come back down. But to me, what it means is the institutions are not in any way sellers, and the retail sellers stopped. It's odd. It's certainly odd. And all I'm going to do is remind myself that no matter what else I think, whatever goes on in the market does not have to make sense to me. Right? It's a funny thing how we're like, well, this doesn't make any sense. To who? To me? What the hell do I know? It happened, so it makes some sense. That's where I am with it. Is I'm saying there is a significant lack of seller opposition, which is giving it some free reign. Now, eventually, we will see the buyer or the sellers. We thought we were going to earlier this week, and we had one day, and then we had it stabilized, and then yesterday It tested the same level but stabilized. Um, so yeah, honestly, I'm gonna just let my market posture prevail. Follow the charts. That's it. Okay. You nailed it. What do you see? I see buyers. I don't see sellers. Could they come? Yes. Am I going to expect them to come? No. Very interesting for sure. The VIX rolled. This is the roll. Why do I say that? These 2 days were still like trying to figure it out, and it was coming up, and it ultimately was kind of like up to this level here yesterday. What's happening today? We're closing below the low the last 2 days. So that to me is it has turned. Um, this is going to give us a plus 0.25. So that our score will improve there for sure. Unless, like at the end of the day, this thing rallies back up, and if it finishes in here, no. But if it finishes below that red line right there that I kind of pointed at, if it finishes below that, it's going to get an improvement for the lower high. Um, okay. Where was I going next? Spy. There it is. Volume's gonna stay. Well, let's go one at a time. Let's start here with the weekly. No change. We jumped our score a half of a point this last week. Based on what? Based on us smashing back up into this red channel. And this red channel is a 1.25 net score. 1.25. So that basically just propelled us back into that scoring zone. Okay. Let's see. Let's drop down to the daily perspective. Major market is doing well. Okay, Stephen, good to know. Good to know. On the short term, I'm going to give it another quarter of a point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is where we started. We started here and we had a little bit of consolidation, and then it clearly turned and it made a new higher high. Higher high equals 0.25 plus. So on the first three, I have a feeling I will continue. Now, we went from, we did a 1.75. We did a 1.75 improvement. And then last week we did even better than that, 2.25 improvement. This week, I'm expecting more improvement still, just less so, by a lesser amount. So what am I looking for? I'm thinking we'll get a half a point on the top half. I'm gonna just assume Stephen is right. And we're going to get another quarter point on major market. I think sector rotation with technology and chips doing what they did. We're probably going to see a quarter of a point there. So let's assume major market gets to a 0.75. Stephen, does that sound about right? Sector rotation gets a quarter of a point. It gets closer to zero. Sector rotation is where there's still the only remnant of negativity, actually. Um, and it's showing a little bit of slow going to a one. Even better. And then the VIX gonna get another quarter of a point. I think we're gonna end up at a 2.5. At a 2.5, where we haven't been since February the 8th. And that's kind of the barrier, the threshold, if you will, right? When we hit that 2.5 coming out of the threes, that's when things really sort of stalled on us, right? That's back here, February 8th. And then we saw this. Now, we're ultimately higher now than we were, which is just interesting. But okay. Okay. All right. What else? And the VIX, we already said, yeah. So okay, I think that's where it is for me. Can't argue with strong Nasdaq and Russell on all 4 points. Yeah, they have been, haven't they? The Russell never really the Russell never really faltered out of its leading position. It held it down until technology could really start to like improve. Yeah, yeah, that's very interesting for sure. Okay. Let's see. Two weeks in a row. So we're going, okay. NASDAQ leads on the 66 and the 22, Russell on the other two. That sounds like a one. I'm not going to argue with that. That sounds like a one. Okay. What's next? Let's go through the whole watch list. See where it puts us. Start at the top at Alcoa. No, nothing there. Apple pulling back. I don't think we're going to get time. We needed it to pull back here and stabilize, and then we would have had a trade by like yesterday or today. But not now, not the way it looks. Archer Daniels rolling over. Am I on Heiken Ashley? What candles am I on here? Regular candles. AMAT looks good. Still moving. AMKR overextended. There's just nothing there for us right now. Amazon, there's nothing there. APH would be a maybe to me. This looks very much like a pennant. But we've got earnings coming up. I don't know that we'll have time. We may have to just wait and watch and see what this one does. Oh, man. Ah, I'll tell you. Felt like a really strong trade when we got everything we asked for. And then it just kept on going. Now it's we got about 6 points. We got about 5 points, and then it gave 6 more. Anybody keep any of that? Steven, did you hold a little piece for a trail stop? That sucker worked out okay. I did not. I took mine and wrapped it up and called it a day. Um, I mean, I'm not going to regret locking in a gain at my target price just because this is one of those rare times that things just keep on going. AXP. Okay. I think their earnings were great. Asked for 403, got 428. Um, Dropped on the initial, but starting to slow down. So I would consider the higher low. I've already determined that I'm liking uh financials on an increasing basis. Baba was you didn't quite get a full. You got a pinch, not a turn. If it weren't for this gap, I would have been like, oh yeah. But the fact that it's right at the level. It's close. I think that one's worth looking at, but maybe not quite yet. Bank of America is right knocking on the door. This is I if I were to guess where the next trade is going to come from, I would say financials. Weigh in. What do you guys think? As you're looking around and you're seeing potential signals, what grouping, what sectors is that coming from? For me, as I look at this pullback here, we see it in BAC, we see it in AXP, we see it in Citi. Financials, number one, is one that we saw the momentum come. We talked about seeing it. Now we've seen it make its new highs on the pullback. This is definitely where I'm looking. Me and Kyle, me and Kyle are looking for some trades in financials. We would like to formally invite the rest of you to join us. Okay. Caterpillar, no. CF, which is very much impacted by news. 66-day fin sector, second from the bottom. Yeah, but what if they used to be the first from the bottom? Then that means they're getting better. Mo better. CF, I'm a little bit leery of. Yeah, you know what? And honestly, Kyle, for me, it's all a right now, AMAT, TSM, NVIDIA are all benefiting from what? Intel. Intel with that 20% jump. They said we were expecting to lose 10 cents a share. And instead they made 30 cents a share. That's a significant outperform to the extent that it's a positive blast radius. Sometimes you might be in a stock and you're like, what's going on? And then you look around and the stock you're in dropped because another stock in its group reported earnings and weren't good, and it's getting hit negatively by the blast radius. This is the positive blast radius. Intel smashed. There's been some concerns as of late as to whether or not the AI impact is overblown. And what this is telling us is absolutely not yet. They smashed it, and you're seeing a ripple effect across the board. So yeah. Okay. Glad we had at least one piece on. Maybe you had two. As I said, I think that financials is next. Coherent. Beautiful. Beautiful and still time. I would love if this could signal by Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday, and then I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 aftermarket. So if I get a signal by Tuesday, I still have 6 days. So even Wednesday, by Tuesday or Wednesday, if I have a signal on Coherent, I have enough days. I have enough days for this to be viable for a bullish trade. I'm going to take it that way. Smash is a great sign for beautiful sign. Not just the AI trade. I would say tech is in some way hitched to AI right now. So for the entire thing, I agree with you 100%. Okay, let's see. Cisco maybe pulling back. Gap down, rallied back, but overall looks like it's turning into a cross. Delta. I know jet fuel costs are super high. But as of right now, Delta looks like it's weathering the storm. Right? It looks like it's weathering the storm just fine. The Dow looks okay. Dow Chemical, meh. GE trying to stabilize. Gold, no. General Motors, a little bit of interest here, if not for the earnings coming up this close. Google does. There's the only issue I have with Google is we have so little time left. They report Wednesday after market. You have 3 days. I 100% agree. It looks interesting. You have now until Wednesday afternoon at most 3 days. Could we see a nice little pop up here to 360 in those 3 days? Maybe not 360, 360. I mean, there's something there. I agree with that. If it weren't for earnings, I'd be like, yeah. With earnings, it's like, I'm a little more leery, but I still see 3 days worth of potential there. Goldman, I like the others better, but Goldman setting up. Home Depot looks interesting for a consumer discretionary trade. Okay. HL, no. IBM, no. Intel, I mean, yes, but no. Yes, it looks good. No, it's not tradable. We got a few more people. I see those of you who came a little later. Welcome. Glad to have you sneak in for this Friday afternoon. IWM. Okay. Lamb Research. This one looks interesting after yesterday. It's just I don't know, not quite high enough, or maybe it is, and we just are. If I'm strict and I keep my line like this, that's maybe good enough right there. Um, I might wait. I don't think I'm looking to put any new trades on today per se. MasterCard viable, but earnings coming up soon. Meta, like Google, viable, but earnings coming up soon. You only have till Wednesday. Marvell overextended. Morgan Stanley looks good. For me personally, I'm thinking two. I'm thinking a bank and a broker, or a broker and a credit card and a broker. Two. I don't think I'm at three yet. I want to see a little more strength before I would do that, but I would absolutely be willing to end up in a couple of bullish financial trades early next week. Microsoft looking better, but right on top of earnings. Micron, very much like the rest of them that we saw. Netflix, no. Netflix is kind of getting beat up. Nvidia, I mean, it's looks bullish. Palantir, you might think, Scott, you thought this thing maybe would be a put. Do you still think that? No. No, I do not. I actually think had a pretty good run from here to here, that it could be setting up for something bullish. But I've got earnings out there that I'm a little bit. I agree, Kyle. I'm thinking that this support level held, and it's trying to throw down a little inverted head and shoulders through here. But it's going to need earnings maybe to accelerate it, which sort of takes it out of our ability to trade it. But yeah, when it got to this point here, I'm thinking to myself, that's still lower highs. I could go ahead and trade this if it turns. It never turned. The fact that it never turned mean that never developed. And when it made the move up to here, then I'm like, you know what? No, it's too much by the buyers. And now we're seeing just a mild pullback, which too much by the buyers followed by not enough from the sellers. That becomes the right shoulder. And this thing looks like it's ready to go. If by some miracle a peace deal is struck, we will see a more active market. Earnings have done well considering the comp. I would say everything's done well considering the conflict. I agree with that. That's a good assessment. Obviously, the longer it goes, the harder it is to sustain that. And I think that's where we all see, like, hey, we're now at 8 weeks. We've sort of just coasted through the 6 week mark, and that's fine. There was a little bluster early on. Uh, but yeah, it does seem like a lasting peace deal would be hugely, um, hugely contribute to things working. Okay. Let's see. QQQ. Man, Steven, you're right. Look at the strength on the NASDAQ. The technology smashing its way back into the front. Very bullish. Very bullish for us, right? Rocket Lab. Hey, I'm in. I'm in the craze with you guys. This is my horse. I don't have the rest of those some of those other rocket stocks, but when I see Rocket Lab look like this, I'm in. I traded it several times back in the fall last year, and I had a great time with it. And so I would love to add this one too. If I had to start guessing at next week's trades, I would say financial. I would say on Tuesday we need to do a stronger search uh of consumer discretionary as a group. But I think this Rocket Lab looks fantastic. Plenty of time before earnings. Looks good. Made a nice strong move up. If this thing pulls back towards like 70, 74, 75 ish, it's poised to make another run at 100 for me. Yeah, that's an exciting one. I would love to trade this again. Ross Stores, great trend, but not great swings. So it's a good, strong, solid uptrender, but it's not go up and make a higher high, come down and make a higher low, go up and make a higher high, come down and make a higher low. That's not what's happening. That's not what we're seeing, unfortunately. So this one is less likely to be tradable based on my rules in my system. RTX keeps dropping. Um, Maybe I need to dive in deeper. Let's go look at a couple of other of these. Who makes the missiles that we've run out of? Because aren't we about to have like a couple of big new orders of missiles? These guys are getting smashed. Uh yeah, not good. Uh let's see. Who else? Northrop and GD. Let's go look at those two. Boeing does? I didn't know that. I thought it was Lockheed Martin. And there's Lockheed. GD. GD smashed down. I thought Boeing only made planes, Bob C. What it tells you what I know. Uh interesting. Well, maybe the planes are doing well and the missiles are doing less well. Okay. Okay, here we go. I got a little information here. Boeing is a small. Okay, so actually, the top one is Lockheed. They make the HIMARS rockets, which are used in Ukraine. They make javelins with Raytheon, and they make the PAC-3 Patriot missile interceptors. RTX, which is Raytheon, makes Tomahawks, Patriots, AMRAAMs. Northrop Grumman, um, ICBMs and Sentinels, Boeing, ground-based mid-course defense interceptors, various guidance and support systems. Interesting. Okay. Lockheed. Okay, here's what I found out. Trying to get Ford and General Motors to build missiles. Okay. Well, because we need it. Is that like the Defense Act thing? Lockheed Martin and RTX together produce a large share of tactical missiles. Northrop Grumman is behind the scenes for propulsion and nuclear systems. Very interesting. The new things you learn. Okay. Where was I? Silver. Silver actually looks like it's possibly ready to make a bounce. If there was anything in precious metals, it would be silver, and it would be on the turn. Maybe silver makes a run back up into the low 80s. There could be something there. I'm actually looking at that one more closely now. SanDisk trying to turn, time before earnings. SPY, no. STX, we're not going to get anywhere near on that volume. STX, overextended. SYY, really struggling to fill that gap. TJX. Okay, so Tesla had good earnings. They had a pre-earnings rally, then they had good earnings, and now you can see a higher low is being established. I like it. They had good earnings. The higher low is establishing. For me personally, I would say, yeah, this is viable. And where does this come from? Consumer discretionary, right? We already said we think there's going to be something coming there. So that's really what we're looking at. Consumer discretionary, financials. Some of the other things are already in place, already running. There's not much else that you'll be able to do with those. Okay, let's keep going. We'll wrap this up. Put her to bed for the week. TSM looking strong. UPS flat. VALE. I believe Vale is a miner, is it not? I thought it's a silver miner. Let me go see. I could be making this up in my head. I'm prone to making things up in my head. Fundamentals, overview, materials, company profile. What do these guys do? What the fundamentals? Economic data? Huh. Well, why doesn't it tell me who they are? Someone tell me if I'm right. Is Vale silver miners? That's what it feels like. I don't know why I can't get there. Oh, here we go. Market Watch. Nope. Tools, education, analyze, fundamentals, company profile. There it is. Found it. I found it. With its subsidiaries, produce iron ore and nickel. Oh, okay. It's nickel. In Brazil, Asia, Middle East, North Africa, Europe, Americas, Oceania. Iron ore and Vale-based metals. It extracts iron ore pellets, briquettes, nickel, copper, and other byproducts, including gold, silver, cobalt, platinum, other base metals. Okay, so they're kind of generic mining, but not necessarily precious metals, though they do have some industrial and precious metals. Interesting. I like this one. I like this one. I'm putting this on like a hey, here's the core opportunity list for going forward. Viking cruises, maybe. Consumer discretionary, overextended there, rolling over there. Let's see. Basic materials sideways, communication services looking better, looking ready. Energy, not so good. Financials looking better. Industrials okay. Technology looking better. Staples, healthcare, and there's consumer discretionary. So, the things that we said we're looking for are definitely the ones that are still showing up in that regard. So yes, yes. Okay. Questions. We have a few minutes. We went through everything. The current trades look good. The current posture continues to look good and continues to show improvements, not as strong, although none of us really probably thought it was going to do another week like it had done. Um, Vail has 65,000 employees across the world. Is that right? Okay. Okay. Um, well, look, the markets have improved and we have a couple of good trades on. One's kind of flat, one's profitable. Despite coming after the initial bump that we got, that was sort of what caused us to start seeing things more favorably. That's good. We're seeing more of the same. That's good. We're seeing signals start to show up in other areas of the market, financials and consumer discretionary, where there had been a bit of lacklusterness. Everything about what we're seeing right now is continuing to look favorable. So, yeah, I'm here for it. I'm definitely here for it. All right. Well, it's good to see everybody. Um, I hope you all have an amazing weekend. Weather is great here in Utah, mid 60s, sunny. I hope that you will join us on Sunday morning for our market posture 1 hour event. Always a good time. But thanks for joining me. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and weekend, and I'll see you Sunday. As always, happy trading.